You ever look back at someone you liked and think, wait, I ignored 47 red flags because they had a nice smile? Like seriously, the person could reply once every 3 business days, act allergic to commitment, and somehow we still sit there like, maybe they're just busy. No, nobody is that busy. If someone can post 14 Instagram stories but can't reply, hey, congratulations, you are emotionally subscribed to nonsense. And the weird part is, almost everyone falls for the wrong person at least once, sometimes twice, sometimes enough times to deserve a loyalty card. So why do we do it? Why do smart people suddenly become detectives, therapists, and clowns the moment they catch feelings? That's what we're talking about today. See, most people think attraction is logical, like you carefully choose someone based on personality, compatibility, emotional maturity, but real life doesn't work like that. Your brain sees one attractive person who laughs at your joke, and suddenly it's like, yes, this is the future parent of our children. Meanwhile, the person literally forgot your birthday. The truth is, we don't fall for people because they're right for us. We fall for people because they trigger something inside us. Sometimes it's excitement. Sometimes it's loneliness. Sometimes it's childhood trauma wearing a leather jacket. And the most dangerous people? They're usually not fully bad, because if they were horrible all the time, we'd leave immediately. No, the wrong people are confusing. One day they make you feel special. The next day they disappear like a magician with emotional issues. And your brain becomes addicted to the inconsistency. It's the same reason people get addicted to slot machines. You never know when the reward is coming. One sweet text suddenly feels magical because you suffered for it. Good morning. And now you're smiling at your phone like you just received a Nobel Prize. Healthy love feels calm, but toxic love feels exciting. And a lot of us accidentally confuse peace with boredom because movies taught us love should be dramatic. Running in the rain, screaming arguments, crying outside someone's house at 2 a.m. In real life, if you're outside someone's house crying at 2 a.m., you probably need water and better decision-making skills. Another reason we fall for the wrong people is because we like potential. Oh, this one is dangerous. We meet someone and think, they could be amazing. Could be. Potential has destroyed more relationships than bad personalities. You start dating someone for who they might become instead of who they already are. He's immature now, but he'll change. She ignores me now, but deep down she cares. Meanwhile, deep down, she's probably watching Netflix peacefully. People rarely fall in love with reality. They fall in love with imagination, and imagination is undefeated. Then there's loneliness. Loneliness can make the bare minimum look romantic. Someone says, "Did you eat today?" And suddenly you're planning wedding outfits. When you've been emotionally starving, crumbs feel like a full meal. That's why people stay in bad relationships longer than they should. Not because they're weak, because being alone feels scary. And honestly, modern dating doesn't help either. Dating apps turn people into online shopping. One tiny inconvenience, and people act like customer service. Oh no, they use too many emojis. Next, everybody wants connection, but nobody wants vulnerability. People want love without risk, attention without commitment, relationships without communication, which is basically impossible. And here's another uncomfortable truth. Sometimes we chase people who don't choose us because we think winning them will prove our worth. That's why rejection hurts so much. It's not just losing a person. It feels like losing validation. You start asking questions like, what's wrong with me? Meanwhile, the actual issue might simply be incompatibility. Not every rejection is proof you're unlovable. Sometimes two people just don't fit. A fish would fail a tree climbing contest too. That doesn't mean the fish is useless. Although honestly, imagining a fish climbing a tree is kind of hilarious. But here's the good news. Falling for the wrong people teaches you things the right people never could. You learn boundaries. You learn self-respect. You learn that I can fix them is usually the beginning of a disaster movie. And eventually you stop chasing chaos. You stop confusing mixed signals for chemistry. You realize that real love is not supposed to feel like solving a murder mystery. The right person won't leave you constantly guessing. You won't need to decode texts like an FBI agent. You won't have to beg for consistency because people who genuinely care about you make things clearer, not more confusing. And maybe the biggest lesson is this: the wrong people often enter our lives to teach us what we truly deserve. Not everyone is meant to stay forever. Some people are life partners, some are life lessons, and unfortunately, some are just emotional Wi-Fi signals. Strong connection for 2 weeks, then suddenly gone. So if you've ever fallen for the wrong person, congratulations. You're human. Messy, emotional, hopeful human. And honestly, that's not something to be ashamed of. Just don't let temporary feelings convince you to permanently lower your standards. Because someday you'll meet someone who gives you peace instead of confusion. And when that happens, you'll finally understand why all the wrong ones never worked out.